Ba-dum. Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Surprise in Arizona. Hope you're having a super fantastic, sparkling day. Welcome to Before the Dirt Nap podcast number 1444. It feels like Sunday, but it's only Saturday. And I was chatting with a friend of mine not long ago, and she says, yeah, she feels like it's Sunday as well. So there's something out there that's a little kinky, a little off, where we're who else is feeling like today's Sunday instead of Saturday? But it's been a busy day. We've got a lot accomplished today. I got a box opened. I took the table out. I've got a table set up in my breakfast area in the kitchen now. Put a couple of chairs there, put a pile of placemats on there with some napkins, and had lunch sitting there. It was awesome to be able to actually sit at a table and have nothing on the table except the placemats and the food. I did have the iPad there because the Kindle was in the bedroom. But to actually sit down and not be on a couch trying to juggle plates and glasses, or to be sitting here at my workspace and having to clear my workspace so I can eat, I can tell you that's a very freeing feeling when you've gone from having a table that has got multiple uses and you only had a very little space to put food. And then you had to be careful you didn't tip it onto the keyboards or the mouse and all of that rigmarole. I got a table with placemats and chairs. Some people will go, she's lost it. Yes, I have, but it's something very exciting, especially for me since I don't have any other tables. So that was one of my two new tables that I got with the Amazon Prime Deals Day. I looked it up. They were $153 and I got them for $63 each. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. So I got that. I was waiting on my hat/coat rack to arrive because I was super excited. I cleared a space for it, not where I actually wanted to end up because there's a lot more boxes to move, but just outside the door here. And how is that comfortable? I mean, it's a good neck stretch though. Yeah, I'll give her that. I'll tell you about her in a minute. So I cleared a space to put it outside the door there. And because it said it was going to be delivered today, it did not get delivered. It came by US Postal Service. And they said they attempted delivery at 7:48 this morning. Well, I was having breakfast at that point. Nobody rang a bell. Nobody was at my door. But their excuse was that the mailbox was full. Yeah, we live in a community where you have those mailbox banks, where you see like several mailboxes all together and they've got a little outgoing one. And I'm trying to figure out, okay, I know because the bench on this thing is about 40 inches long. So I'm sort of like thinking, well, how the hell did they expect to get that in the mailbox anyway? Why did they not bring it to the house? And they said they left notification there. So Zephy and I went for our walk. We came back down the opposite street, which brings us back past the mailbox, opened the mailbox. There was some junk mail in there, nothing about attempted delivery or anything like that. I'm like, I mean, when you see that, wouldn't it make sense of, I actually have to take this to the house? How is that going to fit into a mailbox? I mean, yeah, you couldn't go ring the door. So I've now gone on to I took the tracking number, went onto went onto the US Postal Service site, put it in, got the tracking number there. It actually said the whole transcription says that the mailbox is full or the package is oversized. Please click here for redelivery. So I put in redelivery. I put, please ring the doorbell. If it doesn't require a signature, please leave it on the left side of the door and ring the doorbell when you're away. And we'll see on Monday if they follow directions. So I don't have a coat rack or hat rack, and I was super excited about it because I had the space cleared for it, and I had a space cleared that I could actually assemble this thing and put it together, a place for it to go, and then I could get all this crap up that, all of Zephy's harnesses, her leashes, my sun hats, my walking shoes, her booties, get the little basket out that's got all of her poop bags in there, and have it all sorted out and everything else and be organized in that area. Now, if it's arriving Monday, I probably won't have a chance to put it together till Monday night because next week I'm working full days next week. So, and then the following week I'm into my classes. So, yeah, we'll see what happens on Monday to see if they follow directions and ring the doorbell. They'll probably go back over to the mailbox bank again looking for a doorbell. Who knows? Anyway, I know some people that will actually go and check that to see if there's a doorbell on the mailbox. I have seen it happen. I have seen it happen. Trust me, it's out there. So today's been a little toasty. We were at 117 degrees today for our high, which is 47 degrees Celsius for those in New Zealand. And people have been telling me that, or especially my parents have been telling me that Phoenix has made the news in New Zealand because of the temperatures being over 45 degrees Celsius. And I said to my mum, I said, well, do you remember any announcements like that last year or the year before? She's like, no. Why? I said, because for the last, and I said, that's only 117. We're going up to 118 tomorrow, which is close to around 48 and that sort of thing, 118, 119. I says, but the last 2 summers, we had days in a row where we were 120. And she's like, really? I said, yeah. I said, that's like, I think it was like 49 degrees Celsius. And I said, and that never made the news, but the fact that we're going over 45 degrees Celsius made the news. But it hasn't the past 2 years when we were actually at 120 degrees Fahrenheit. And she's like, oh, isn't that strange? So I'm just like, yeah, there you go. But Zeffie last night, I actually had to force her to put her booties. She did not want her booties on. I picked up the booties, turned to her, she took off. And I'm like, this is not happening. I just said to her, I said, it's way too hot outside because it was like 109 when we went for a walk last night. And I said, there's going to be no argument about this. These boots are going on your feet. And so I actually had to force her to lay there while I put it and hold her foot. And she's trying to pull her foot away from me. And I'm like, no. And these are going on. And so we got them on her feet, and she doesn't realize it yet, but they'll be going back on her feet again tonight too. But as soon as we got outside the door, she's running along, happy as anything. Although the thing that she hasn't learned to do in her boots yet, after she's finished doing her thing, she likes to scratch the grass. And I tell her that she's combing the grass. And so she likes to scratch the grass and stuff, but she can't do that in her booties. And so she's not very happy about that. And then she can't, when she meets other dogs, she can't play like she usually does, because she normally gets, downward dog, front end down, back end up, tail going like crazy and darting around and running around in circles, because she's not used to doing that in her booties. So yes, she's not very happy with me when she has her booties on, especially when she discovered that she couldn't play with other dogs the way that she likes to play with other dogs. So, but tonight her booties will be going back on again, because I just looked and we're not even going to get, I don't even think we're going to get to 110 outside before we go for a walk, because it was still like 100. What is it? 100 and what's it right now? Oh, it's down to 46 degrees centigrade. Let me switch that to Imperial. 115. Yeah, and we go for a walk in about an hour and a quarter. But it feels like 114. I don't get this. Here's the temperature, but it feels like this. I'm just like, I really don't get that. It's either this or it's this. How can you have a feel like? I'm like, yeah. But I had to go and pull in a package that was delivered by Amazon that was much smaller than my hat rack, and pulled that in. And I got out there, and the concrete, and it was underneath my front porch, so in the shade. The concrete was warm, but not, and I was in bare feet, because that's how I run around the house, is in bare feet. I don't like wearing shoes. The concrete was very warm. It wasn't hot, but it was warm, and it was sort of, and I was sitting there going, this feels really good it felt really nice on the feet, like putting your feet into a bath, but it wasn't wet, it was dry. So that kind of temperature. And but then my legs, I was like, but my legs feel like they're sizzling. I'm in the shade. And it was at the peak at 118 degrees out there, and I'm in the shade, standing on the concrete, thinking, this doesn't feel too bad on the feet. It actually felt quite relaxing until the skin started feeling like it was sizzling. And I'm like, I guess we can't stay out here too long. So it'll be interesting going for a walk this evening. Last night we went at 8 o'clock. and we did a very short walk. I said to Zephy, I said to her, I says, if you want exercise, you can go zooming around the house, and I'm quite happy to play fetch with you in the way that you play fetch, so you get your exercise in. I said, but we are not staying out in this heat very long. We are going to get your business done and go home. And so we actually walked up to one of the picnic pavilions and had some water there, because I always carry water with me in the evenings, and a little bowl for her. And so she had a good drink of water up there. And then as we're walking back, I had my flashlight out because it was kind of dark, but they have these little lamps along the walkway there. And there's a way that we go that kind of curves around through these trees to get to where our street is. And I was just like, yeah, something's telling me don't go that way. And so I turned and went onto the street that runs parallel with us. And there's a connecting road, and that connecting road has our mailboxes on it. And so it wasn't that far to walk that way. Gave a fright to some poor woman who was walking out of a house with dishes, obviously been at a potluck or something, and was carrying dishes out to her car. Yeah, she steps out from behind one of these big, tall pickup truck things. And some of those are quite frightening because they're taller. Some of them are like, the head of the engine is like, the engine cover is almost as tall as I am. And I'm only 5'4". And so Zephy obviously heard her coming because she sticks her head around and this woman goes, oh! Oh, yeah, that was, and Zephy just sort of like prances off like, I got that one. My crazy dog. She loves giving surprises. So, but then today we did get some stuff done. I got some videos watched on my new training on publishing. And so I got some videos. I got a lot of videos watched on that. I've got a checklist that I'm going down that I have to go through for this class. And so I'm working through that. But yeah, most of the day it's been a relaxing day. We've been busy, unpacking stuff again, putting stuff away. I had a huge pile of boxes that have been broken down, and I'm sort of like looking at them going, do I just put them all in? But some of them are still in really good condition, so could be used again. And others, there's absolutely no way you could use those boxes again. So those ones are going to go into the trash can. But they're out in the garage right now, and they're like stacked up, or I've got big boxes out there with them all standing upright in the boxes. And I'm like, it's just too hot to be in the garage, even in the morning, because it was like 90. What time? We went for a walk at 10 o'clock this morning, and at 9:30, and it was 98 degrees outside. It's almost 100. And I said, this is, and by that stage we knew that the rack hadn't been delivered because they said the mailbox was full. So I said, well, let's go by the mailbox, see if there's anything in there. No notification, even though it said there was. He went by that way. So we just did this very quick short circuit for her to do a business and come back. And so, I can't wait because this is super, super exciting news for you guys. Yesterday and today, I had conversations with two very interesting people, all about living your best life now. I learned a lot about different plans for helping people get their own homes yesterday. And for some people, that's living their best life now, and living your best life now. When we talk about living your best life now, it's what is your perception of your best life now? And we meet people at some people are sort of like, I just want to get my own home. And that's to them living their best life now because now they'll have their own home. Some people want to get to that stage. So we've got one person that helps people do that. So he's going to be coming on the show. And then today, oh my gosh, my brain is still spinning from this conversation that we had, but we were talking about artificial intelligence and ChatGPT and the different ways that you can use. I mean, I'm only scratching the surface of this thing, of what you can use it for. And every time this particular person speaks about it, and I see his posts on Facebook and stuff, I'm just sort of like, damn, I'm not using it. I don't know. And so he actually showed me today how you can use the prompts on ChatGPT. And I'm like, what? It was amazing. I mean, the stuff that he showed me today, I'm like, I said, there is no way I would have gotten to that level puttering along like I am. I said, this is incredible information. And he's got this program that he's done. I said, if you want me to try and break it, I will. I said, I'm happy to be a guinea pig and help you break the system because I like breaking systems. I like being given a program and showing how it's used. And I've done this many times over the years in different walks of life that I have been in, where they say, "Oh, we're going to be bringing out this new platform. Can you test?" And they said, "We need some we need some people to test it." And that's what things that I like to do is to go and see if I can break it. And it's how I get to know a system as well. My first thing is show me what it does, show me how it works, watch me do it, then let me play. And during that let me play is when I try to break it. And breaking it is just finding errors in the system. Like you're asking it to do something it's supposed to do and it doesn't do it how it's supposed to do it. Or you're finding the errors in the verbiage that's on there. If there's wording on the screen and you find out that that there's a wrong word in there or something like that, you're proofreading the screens at the same time as you're using the system to see if there's any errors. What are the most common things that people are going to be doing with a system? And you go through that. What's some of the least common things? And then you go through that and see if you can get it to work. And you make sure it works. And they either have me write up a report at the end or they have me do a spreadsheet with the issues as I come across them. And it's now it used to be like an Excel spreadsheet. I'll just email it to them at the end or at the end of each day. But now I get to do a Google sheet and put it all on there, and they've got access to the Google sheet so they can see it in real time as I'm putting the stuff in. And sometimes they're coming along behind me fixing the stuff as we go. Just kind of interesting because all of a sudden it might create another problem over here. And I was like, well, hang on, that was working earlier. Now it's not working. This is what da, 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 da. And then they look at the time that I put it in and the time that they did their thing and go, oh, that could have been us. So I said to this guy, I said, I'm more than happy to test it for you and try and break it and see how it goes. But it just opened my eyes to the possibilities that we can have with AI and ChatGPT. And I know that there is a lot of people out there who are like, yeah, no. You realize you've been using forms of it for years? There's been different forms of it available for years. It's been in infancy. It's been kind of like ticking on. So it starts here and it's kind of been like ticking along and slowly, very gradually moving up. Now all of a sudden it's starting to do this. So we're going to have this guy come on and take away the scary. Because I know a lot of people are sort of like, oh no, they're going to take over and blah, 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 blah. Because like I said to him, the only reference they have is what they've seen in the movies or on TV. I said, you think back to shows, back to movies from the some of the early movies, some of the early sci-fi movies, like, the day the world stood still. You had a robot that was basically telling the humans what to do. Was that not a form of artificial intelligence? So, back in I don't even know what year that movie came out, but if you go back to some of the sci-fi movies that came out back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and they've got artificial intelligence of some form in some of those movies where the ship takes care of everything and then the ship can turn again, but you get all these, I said, you get all these ones, you got Space Odyssey and was it 2000, and we started listing some of these movies that they had, that's been around for years. And if you look at it, it's a form of AI that they have been using in these movies. The concept has been used in movies. Even in the Twilight Zone, because I was thinking of the Twilight, what made me think of the Twilight Zone today? There was something I saw, one of those little info TikTok video things, where they take you behind the scenes of certain things. And I was watching a thing on Lucille Ball about how she's the reason that we had Star Trek. She fought for Star Trek to be, because one of the networks decided no, they weren't going to do it. Another one was sort of like, yeah, we'll do it, no, we won't. And she's the one that stood up for them and said, yeah, you will, basically. So she, we can thank her for bringing us Star Trek to the screen. And the other one it wasn't called Twilight Zone. It had a different name at the time, but and the pilot came out under the original name, and it was like, no. And so somehow behind the scenes and stuff, that ended up becoming the Twilight Zone. And the Twilight Zone has, like artificial intelligence working in there as well, and some of the characters and things. So it's been around. The concept has been around for a long, long time. So yeah, it's going to be a very interesting conversation we have when we bring this person on to talk about artificial intelligence and some of the stuff it's doing now, things it's going to be doing in the future, maybe things it's going to be doing in the future. It was just a really great conversation we had today. And the fact that I got to understand the power of something like ChatGPT, I was just sort of like, oh, I'm not even scratching the surface. Yeah, that was really, really interesting what he was showing me and what he's doing, and what it's going to be, and what he can program it to do, and help it to work. And even as he's showing me, he came up with there was a couple of bugs that came up. So he says, "Oh, I need to go and fix that," because he's made some tweaks and changes over the time, and this one did something it wasn't supposed to. And it's like, I need to go fix that one. So, but I'm looking forward to having him on and talking with him about that. So, because some people, their only reference to artificial intelligence is what they've seen on TV and in the movies. That's their reference. The things to overtake, and the human race has to come together and stand up against artificial intelligence and wipe it out of existence type of thing, so that they can take back their world. So it's going to be interesting. It's going because that, like I said to myself, that's basically all people have had over the last few decades are these movies and these TV shows. So it'll be interesting to see. So I'm excited to bring that on. So we've got 2 guests coming up. The second one I know is going to be on Thursday, the 20th of July, and the other one we're going to be scheduling that one. We just ran out of time this morning when we were having a conversation, because it was such a great conversation. Oh my gosh. And even he learned a couple of things too, because he learned that one of his AI programs that he used could actually do something he didn't know it could do. He said, "Oh, let's just give this a try." I went, "Okay." And until you give things a try, you don't know what's going to happen. It might be good, it might be bad, it might not be good, it may work, it may not work. You don't know unless you give it a go. So anyway, with that, I'm out of here. Tomorrow is Sunday. Yes. Relax day. And I'm really going to need a relaxed day before Monday, because next week I'm working full days next week. And then I finish on Friday with the full days. And on Saturday, I go into my week-long genealogy course. So, and I'm looking forward to that as well. And I've been getting all the documentation, which reminds me I have to find somewhere to get it printed and bound, because they give us a book each year that's like 250 something pages. And so I need to get that printed and the spiral binding put on it. So I'm going to get that all ordered so I can go pick it up, and I've got it. And the other book is about 70 pages, a 70-page handbook and a 250 something page course book. So I need to go get those printed and bound so that I have them and somewhere to put all my notes and everything. And because we're definitely going to need those. Know that from past experience. Anyway, I'm out of here. Go, let us know, what fun things did you get up today? What did you learn today? Do you have anything that you learned today that's got your head going in circles and you don't know where your shoulders are? Yeah, that was kind of like how I felt after I finished my conversation this morning on AI and some of the capabilities of it. So it's mind-blowing. It really is. Anyway, I'm out of here. Go have a super fantastic, sparkling evening, and we'll catch you guys back here tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Pacific. Hey, konara.